Jim, it's good to have you. What crazy ideas are you testing out in the vaccine world?
So I'm not an immunologist or a medical specialist, but I'm, along with a group from St. Louis, funding a bunch of research at Washington University's medical school that's super exciting. Basically, we have a world-class medical school at WashU, and they asked a bunch of alumni to basically give money to do experimental research, and it's going very well. We actually have two potentially blockbuster vaccine candidates. And almost more exciting is we have a saliva-based test so we can tell if people have the SARS-CoV-2 virus or not.
Right. And why this partnership with Washington University? I mean, with the university in general, you know, at a time when there's so much money in biotech companies or these huge sort of top-tier research facilities, what gives you the confidence to think that your contribution and the work here is going to make a difference?
Well, so first of all, this is not an investment. This was a gift. And at the time we made this, you know, the COVID-19 epidemic was just starting. And we were concerned that if we waited for government money or for traditional investors, we would lose months, and months mean lives. So a group of us got together, gave a bunch of money to the scientists, and they got into the labs and started working.
Yeah, and people may not know just how strong the program, the medical program, is at Washington University. That is one of the reasons why people are hoping that this bears fruit. And if you guys are able to make some early progress, does that tell you that, you know, again, not as a specialist, but as somebody who's active in this space, that maybe it's realistic to think we could have a vaccine for the coronavirus, you know, within the next 6 or 12 months, you know, something along that time frame?
6 months actually does sound reasonable based on the scientists that I've talked to. And we're probably not going to have one of our vaccines out before the end of the year. But the animal trials have been going exceedingly well. And we've got two candidates that are giving us a lot of hope.
Yeah. So let's pivot, talk a little bit about what some of the innovation we're seeing in the fintech landscape right now as well with coronavirus. It is a great user experience. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening on this front that I think was a long time coming. What I'm wondering about is how much more power is fintech and the payment space going to have as we come out of COVID? What does it mean for the traditional banks? We were just hearing the bullish case for a lot of the big traditional banks, and I just wonder, you know, what would you say about the role that some of these startups may be playing?
So I think there's been a problem with innovation in fintech forever, and that is basically the big institutions are heavily regulated and they tend to be very conservative in their behavior. So they're not good at developing new technologies. That's typically left to the startups and the smaller companies. Now, there are some great exceptions to this. Actually, Bank of America itself, when it was first founded, was a very innovative institution. As a matter of fact, they pretty much invented what we now think of as modern banking. But once these institutions get large, they can't keep the pace up anymore, so they have to work with startups.